Good afternoon, everyone. Bona tarda. Comencem la roda de premsa amb el jugador Robert Lewandowski.
We'll begin the press conference of Robert Lewandowski.
New player Robert Lewandowski. We will do the press conference in English without translation and last two questions in Polish. Thanks. Comencem. Laia? Castellà.
Buenas tardes, Robert. Yo quería preguntarte, el Barça hace ya unos cuantos
I want to ask you, Barca haven't won a Champions League for some time, but people have dared to dream once again, especially with your arrival. Do you think Barca can win the Champions League again?
Good afternoon, Robert. The Barcelona hasn't won the Champions in some time, and people now has illusion for that win again. So do you think with your arrival to Barcelona, can this team win a Champions?
Yeah, first of all, good afternoon. Of course, if you are playing for Barcelona, you have to thinking always to win the titles. If we are talking now about Champions League, that we didn't start this season, but step by step, I think with our potential, with our quality, what we have now in the team, that you see that we are going forward. We are looking forward for the whole season to be on the top, to playing on the titles. And in the end, what does it mean exactly? We have to wait, but for sure that in this season is going to be much better than the last season, because we know that we have to push even harder than was before.
Ramón.
¿Qué tal? Robert, Ramón Salmurri de Catalunya Radio. ¿Cómo están siendo tus primeros días en el club y en este sentido?
How are your first days in the club?
Te está sorprendiendo. Muchas gracias.
And can you share what's surprising you?
First days in this club, and what teammate has helped you the most?
I have to say that from the beginning, from the first day, I feel very good in the team with my teammates, new teammates, because I see that everyone helped me, everyone support me, and this is for me, this means a lot. So I feel very great, and I know that I'm here to do my work, to do my best, to show my best skills and performance. So I'm very happy to be here.
Iván.
Iván San Antonio, del diario Sport. Vimos en el partido contra el Real Madrid que
We saw in the match against Real Madrid
muy buena relación dentro del campo con
that you've got a good relationship on the pitch with Rafinha. Did you feel that as well? Can you explain to us your dynamic?
We saw on the match against Real Madrid that you had a really good relationship with Rafinha. How did that feel for you? Can you explain a little bit about that, how that's going for both of you?
If we are talking about Rafinha, that we see that he is the great player with huge quality, and I think that with every place in Barcelona, for forward players, I have good connection from the first training session. I feel that we have very young players with the huge potential, and I know that this football language is with this quality is easier to adapt, to understand. Each together, so I think very positive for the future for sure. And even we are talking about my teammates, I see that they know how we should to play and how good they are also.
Robert over here, Tommy Argüelles from balonazos.com. You were coached by Pep Guardiola at Bayern Munich. Will that phase with him help you for a quick adaptation to Xavi's philosophy, considering that with Xavi the team is about coming back to the roots? Thank you.
For sure, if you had or have the coach as Pep Guardiola, and I talk with him a lot of times talking about the tactic, about the system. So later, for me, for example, will be and is easier to adapt in every system, each tactic, because I know a lot about tactic. He changed my mind to thinking about the football, to think about the tactics. So for sure, if I get the job, for me will be not difficult to find the best solution, to find the way, because I had so many great coaches on my career way. also with the tactic coaches. So for me personally, it will be not the big problem to adapt for the new system, because I don't think so that will be something new. But Xavi, of course, he's a very good coach, and I know that for me will be easier to understand what he wants from me and what the Xavi wants from the team also.
Thank you.
Here.
Hola, Robert, buenas tardes, Diario Deportivo 10. Por tu palmarés, por ser goleador en Europa, ¿crees que estás también obligado a ser goleador con el Barça?
As a top goal scorer in Europe, do you think you're also obliged to be a top scorer in Barca?
Goals in Europe, do you feel like you have to make so many goals also with Barcelona?
Of course, I try to do my best. I try to score so many goals as possible. But first of all, the most important thing is to winning as a team. You know that we know that the good of the team is of the first place. Second, maybe my goals. But in the end, the best solution will be the both sides working very well from the beginning. But I know that in the end, 3 points and the winning of the game is the most important. Of course, in my head will be always to score in the goal, to try to score the goal and help the team to win the game. This is my goals also and my challenge for this season.
Joan Puquí.
Okay, hello, Joan Puquí, Mundo Deportivo. Then could you give a number of goals for the season you would like to score?
I never think before the season how many goals exactly I want to score, because in the end, the most important is what you do for the team and with the team. So this is my idea in my head, and I didn't think about that should be I don't know how many, but more important is what we can win with the team in the end of the season, and how many goals will be in the end. We have to wait.
Hola, Robert. Bienvenido. Benvingut. Elena Condis de la cadena COPE. Why do you get the feeling that you have been here in Barça longer?
Because I feel that the teammates help me a lot, they support me, and from the first day I try to be with all of them, with the contact, to try to speak, to try to learn the language also, and I see that they open of me, and that's mean for me a lot. And I know that with my experience also, with my even age, it's easier to adapt for the new team, for the new teammates, because you know already how everything works, how everything looks. And since years I know exactly when the new players coming to the club, to the locker room, and what you should to do, what he should to do, and with this experience it's easier to adapt for the new club, for the new challenge as well. And I'm very happy because I see that this feeling is already there, and for me now it's only to be focused on my performance and to show my quality.
Robert, back here, over here. Pedro Silva, Univision Dallas. If you could talk about a little bit Juventus tomorrow, the rival, as far as the expectation of this game, and then also for you personally, this tour, what would you like to take the most out of this tour in the United States?
This whole trip in USA for us is almost 2 weeks, or even 2 weeks. So we know that every training session is for us very important, and every game, even that is friendly game for us, it's important to be good prepared for the season. And we know that we have to run a lot, we have to try to do our best. In the end, of course, the result maybe is not most important, but we have the mentality of winning, and we always think about to win the game, even that is friendly game. And of course, we try to do the progress of our system or tactic as well, because we have few new players, and every week, maybe every day, work for our side. And for sure we have to be focused for the friendly game against Juventus. It's a great club. I have the friends there also, and that will be very exciting to be there and to playing against them.
Vitai, Robert, here. Vitai, Tony Jomarti de Relevo. I wanted to ask you, apart from scoring goals, you got used in Bayern to win a lot of games, win a lot of trophies. you think that your signing can be really good help for the team, not only for goals, but also for the winning mentality that you have, that you bring here?
I hope so, yes, because I know that for me, always in the head is to win the game, to score the goal also, but it doesn't matter against who we are playing or of this training session or in the game. Always we have to be hungry from the win, and I hope so that in the team I see a lot of things like that young guys are very hungry to show his best skills, his performance, and I'm very glad and to be here and also to be the part of this team, because I see that it's a huge potential in this team, and I hope so that we all together going up step by step, and we for sure we're gonna play better and even better.
Hola Robert, Javier Miguel del diario AS. ¿Cuántas veces te han recordado desde que estás aquí en el Barcelona el presidente, los jugadores, los técnicos, los 4 goles que metiste?
Arrived at Barca, how many times have they reminded you of the 4 goals you scored against Real Madrid in the Champions League?
In Barcelona, the president, the players, the coaches, the 4 goals that you scored against Real Madrid in the Champions.
That was a few years ago, of course. That I think that everyone remembers this evening and this game. But you know, now I'm the part of FC Barcelona, and I know that it's the new chapter and the new way to do something new. Yeah? And we know that. The Real Madrid will be the biggest opponent for us in this season, but we know that the last season they won Champions League, and we are now in the position to back on the track and to thinking what we can do, not what we did, and this is the huge difference, because the past is already there. Now is our future, and we have to show something new in the future.
Robert, aquí. Hola, ¿qué tal? Bienvenido. Adrián Albets, de la cadena SER. Se habla mucho de tu edad. Tienes 33
años. They talk a lot about your age. You are 33 years old. You're going to be 34. How many years are left for the best, Robert Lewandowski?
About your age, 33 years, about to be 34. How many years do we have left of a good player?
I have to say that it's difficult to answer for this question, because I feel very good, my body feels very well, and I don't think yet about how many years I can still playing on the high level, but for sure that will be few years. Because this is only age, and I did last time I did the test of my body, and my body is few years younger as my age, so probably I can playing on the top even few years, and I hope so that will be very successful years. And how many years still, I don't know. If you ask me in 3 years later, I can answer exactly, but in this moment it's too early to say how many years I can stay playing at the high level, because will be few years for sure.
Hola, Ramiro Aldunate del Marca. Mi compañero le preguntaba hace un momento por aquellos 4 goles al Real Madrid.
You were asked about the 4 goals you scored against Real Madrid.
Le han recordado, le han tocado un poco las narices por aquellos 8 goles que le metió el Bayern.
They asked you about the 8 goals that Bayern Munich scored against Barca in the Champions League.
So my colleague was asking you about the Real Madrid and the teams you scored before. I'm asking in a teasing way, if your teammates now in Barcelona, they're reminding you of the 8 goals the Bayern scored against Barcelona?
I have to say that we didn't spoke about this. Because how I say it, this is past, and now is the new chapter, is the new future in front of us, and I think it's better to don't look behind us, it's better to look in front of us, and this will be our idea, and that will be our challenge as well.
Jesús Padilla de TUDN Radio Texas. Robert, por la cercanía de Dallas con México, seguramente mañana habrá mucho México.
Talking about how close Dallas is to Mexico. There'll be a lot of Mexican talking about Barcelona, but also about the national side of Poland that will face Mexico in the World Cup.
Tomorrow you'll probably get a lot of support from Mexican followers from the Barcelona. But we wanted to ask you that Poland is going to be playing against Mexico. What do you think about that?
I had time to see how big is support from Mexico people, not only from the Mexico, but this part of the world. I see that every day how much they support us, and I'm very glad, I'm very thankful, because it means a lot for us, for me as well. And if we are talking about the World Cup, for sure that will be the big competition for us, the big challenge, because we know it that the Mexico team is this is a very good team. They're always playing very well in the big tournament, but we have still time to prepare for the World Cup, and now I see that the people love the football, and I'm very happy to see and to hear also their reaction, the love of football and love to Barcelona.
We'll end with the last question in Polish.
Cześć, Robert, tu Marcin Cholewiński. Przede wszystkim gratulacje za ten transfer, bo znamy się jeszcze z czasów Znicza Pruszków. Chciałem cię zapytać, jak zmieniły się twoje zadania, twoja taktyka na boisku w porównaniu do Bayernu? I drugie pytanie od razu. Znasz się z Wojciechem Szczęsnym bardzo dobrze. Czy to będzie ułatwienie dla ciebie, czy dla niego?
Answer Polish or English? Polish, okay. Przede wszystkim moje zadania aż tak pewnie nie będą się różniły. Jednak rola napastnika w dzisiejszych czasach się dużo nie zmienia i często jest tak, że z meczu na mecz ona się po prostu zmienia, i oczywiście ja będę się starał nie tylko czekać na piłki w polu karnym, ale również być postacią odpowiedzialną za rozegranie, za przytrzymanie piłki, za budowanie ataku, więc oczywiście ta rola też mnie w tym momencie cieszy, bo jednak ja nigdy nie byłem napastnikiem, który chciał i lubił czekać na piłki w polu karnym, więc akurat lubię być pod grą, więc to mnie cieszy. A jeśli chodzi o ten jutrzejszy mecz, no to zawsze z Wojtkiem spędzanie czasu jest fajne, niezależnie od tego, czy jest to na kadrze, czy nawet w meczach towarzyskich czy Ligi Mistrzów. Zawsze coś się dzieje, więc fajnie jutro będzie wyjść na ten mecz, zagrać przeciwko Wojtkowi i oczywiście spróbować strzelić bramkę. No i na końcu mam nadzieję, że to my wygramy.
Thank you, Robert. Thank you, everyone. Now we'll start the press conference with our coach, Xavi Hernández.
Muchas gracias.
We'll start with 3 questions in Catalan. After our coach will answer questions in English or in Spanish. So,
Bona tarda, Xavi, Laia Coll de RAC1.
Bona tarda.
Després del Clàssic et van preguntar per Koundé i vas dir que no podies dir res, ara que ja han passat
After the Classic, you were asked about Koundé. You said you couldn't say anything. Can you tell us now if you're optimistic, if he will be playing as a Barca player? He says, I feel bad because I can't tell you anything more. They're working hard to try and reinforce the squad. There's a lot of competition, but I can't talk about any names that we haven't now got in the squad. I'm happy with how they're training, competing and working, and we'll see if we're able to make anything official. We'll tell you. We can't tell you any more than that right now.
Just one thing regarding the questions in Catalan, just in case you're interested in the translation, you will have it at the end of the press conference. Thanks.
Hola, Xavi, aquí Francesc Latorre de TV3. Bona tarda. Volia preguntar per la figura de Pablo Torre, quan se'l va fitxar.
Asking about Pablo Torre.
Un possible nou Pedri amb una irrupció.
Everyone's talking about him as the new Pedri, a new explosion in the sport.
Els plans, primer equip.
You got any solid plans for him? Is he going to play in the first team or for Barça Athletic? Pablo is in the first team dynamic. I'm very happy because he's a young talent. He plays easily and fast. He's doing everything we want to do, especially in terms of position and within the lines. He shoots well, he gets into the area, he gets up for the goal, he's got ambition. He's a player that's in the first team dynamic, but it doesn't necessarily mean he will play in the first team, in the starting 11 or on the bench, be able to play in the reserves. He needs to grow and mature, but he's a talent, and he's surprising everyone. He's smart, he understands the game model, he's the present and the future. If he doesn't participate in the first team, he will play for the reserves.
Aquí a la teva dreta, Ramon Salmorri de Catalunya Ràdio. És evident que el club ha fet un esforç perquè en aquesta pretemporada
obvious that they've made an effort to try and bring in new players.
Heu hagut de canviar ja de moment 3 entrenaments. No sé si això et preocupa.
You've only had 3 training sessions with them so far. Is that something worrying for you and the team?
Varia massa, evidentment, doncs hem fet potser menys treball de camp als matins.
No, obviously, we've not been able to do as much work in the morning because of the heat. So we have to work a bit more in the afternoon. We've not stopped training in the morning. We've been training in the hotels, doing activation and in gym work, and then we've been working a bit harder in the afternoon. So we're doing 2 training sessions that are divided. It was a difficult training session with the heat, so we decided to do activation work in the hotel. It doesn't change our plans. We've also got individual and collective work with video. Right now, I'm happy with how the tour is going.
Buenas tardes, Xavi. Javier Salazar de Impacto Deportivo.
Hola, buenas tardes.
Mi pregunta es, ¿qué opinas de que Rafa Márquez llegó a la institución? Y si
about Rafa Márquez joining the club and if you'd like him to help you in the first team. Rafa's a friend. He was a teammate, a great football player, a legend of football, especially world and in Mexico. It's an honor that we've got him in Barcelona again in the reserves. I think it's going to work really well. We're talking a lot, and we will continue to do so during the year. I see an extraordinary future for him as a coach. It's his first season in Barça B, but I see an extraordinary future ahead of him. He's a great friend, and we understand each other really well.
Por aquí, Tommy Argüelles de balonazos.com. ¿Cómo estás, Xavi?
Hola, muy buenas.
Más allá del juego de posición que Xavi Hernández quiere aplicar
beyond the positional play that Xavi Hernández wants to apply in the club.
En tus formas, ¿no? ¿Qué variables,
what other variables
de rosca busca dar Xavi Hernández para sorprender a los rivales o
are you looking forward to surprise the opposition, or are you focusing heavily on the Cruyff and Guardiola philosophy? The idea of us, we have is make changes because of how football develops, finding different solutions in attack so that the player can find space, can think how we can attack the area, how we defend, how we attack, various circumstances that happen in transition, that we can avoid these transitions. These are various things that we need to combine and we need to work, the defensive line, everything. I think it's a development, an evolution of all of this that Cruyff started, that Rijkaard and Van Gaal continued, Pep, Luis Enrique, etc. And now we're trying to, in one way or another, evolve this tactics in the way that football evolves, and you have to adapt to modern football.
Buenas tardes, Xavi.
Buenas tardes.
Javier Miguel, del diario AS. En Barcelona se han quedado 4 jugadores. No sé si ya tenéis un horizonte, una hoja de ruta planificada para qué puede pasar, porque los escenarios son múltiples.
Barcelona have kept 4 players.
Al final saldrá todo.
Have you
en el caso de que sea el 31 de agosto y alguno de los jugadores
backup plans if you get to the 31st of August and one of these players hasn't got a team because they've had 2 months now to find the team? Will you give this player? Will you release this player on a free? Will you involve him in the training? What's the idea for you? And he says, no, I'll never discard anyone. They're first team players. They're training with us in the first few weeks before we came on the US tour. He said we'll find a solution for them. We communicated to them a good while ago, I think in May. We are trying to help them find solutions so that they've got the opportunity to play. Because I've told them that here it'll be impossible. We've had time, that they understand the situation, and they know they need to find a team and a solution in order to play.
Por acá atrás, Pedro Silva, Univisión Dallas. Preguntarte por el fútbol de Estados Unidos.
I ask you about the football in the States.
Jugador de selección nacional en la Juventus,
in Barca is Serginho Dest, who played in the national side.
De lo que es la MLS y el crecimiento del fútbol.
How do you see MLS and its growth in the United States?
No la sigo a diario, ¿no?
I'm honest, I don't follow it day to day.
New York City, ¿no? En su momento tuve la oportunidad de recalar aquí, luego vino el Guaje, estaba Domènec Torrent, pues he ido siguiendo.
Domènec Torrent has come here. I've been able to follow various matches and highlights, particularly of New York. It's very direct football, very much box to box, very physical. That surprised me, that they're physically very well prepared, and technically as well. You can tell everything is growing in Asia as well.
Tan lejano a lo que tenemos en Europa, es decir,
it's not football that different to what we've got in Europe. So everyone prepares, everyone trains, there are videos. There are better trainers and coaches and worse coaches, but everyone's working hard.
No sé cómo está Ferran Torres, si se llega para el partido de mañana.
Yes, how Ferran Torres is, if he'll be available for the match tomorrow.
En el mediocampo, atrás.
Got a lot of players now in the fence. How do you manage such a long-term injury? He says he's got a injury to his foot, which is a bother to him because it's a place with a lot of impact. He says he's done some training with not very much work. Tomorrow he won't be able to play, so we'll have to do some rotations. He says right now the result's not the most important thing. He would like the result, obviously. It's a test against Real Madrid and Juventus, but they need to get minutes, increase the physical load, but do rotations. Tomorrow we'll probably put out 2 different teams. Also, tomorrow it'll be hot. We won't have air conditioning.
La sorpresa, vostè, la intensitat del que estan...
The intensity
els dos partits d'aquí de la gira fins ara de l'equip semblaven pràcticament de competició.
2 friendly matches of the tour, they're practically competitive matches. Says, well, yeah, they're training really well. The team's training with this enthusiasm, this desire, they're training really well. I've said it a lot that these 2 players are at the level for being in the first team for Barca. They all want to show what they can do, they all want to play, they all want to participate, they want to be important, they want to be loved here. I'm not surprised because I've seen the intensity in the training, which isn't something negotiable. They have to give 100% in training if they're going to be able to compete in the best possible way.
De la cadena SER. Llevamos ya varios ejemplos de jugadores que tienen ofertas importantes de los equipos, pero que quieren venir al Barça.
We've got various examples of players that have offers from good teams, but they refuse them because they want to come play for Barca. Lewandowski, Rafinha, Koundé. What's the reason behind that? He says, well, it's the enormity of the club, the enormity of Barcelona. On a world scale, but also historically, he says we're doing a project that gives a lot of hope and excitement. That helps the work that they're doing in the board of directors, the other players that we've got in. They know it's Barca, they know the club in general is still, despite having this not so good period, it's still Barca, and it excites people to play in Barca, and we need to make the most of this. We're full of hope. We want to go back to winning titles, and with players like Lewandowski who want to come and play at Barca, this is success, right? A success for the history of Barca.
Hola. Mencionabas un poco acerca del calor que va a haber mañana.
You mentioned a couple of times the heat. You say it won't be difficult tomorrow to play in this heat. Can you talk a bit about the fans that have turned out for you in the different cities that you've played at? Firstly, the heat, we'll try and adapt to it. We'll rotate. We'll put out practically 2 different teams to share the minutes, to reduce the load. It's hotter in Las Vegas than in Dallas, that's true, but we'll adapt without a problem. Then the fans, well, we're Barcelona. Wherever we go, we've been to Australia, we're now in the United States. People have passion for Barca. This is absolutely incredible. It's fantastic. When people talk, come all this way for Barca, that's amazing. This is also the new ones. Lewandowski, Rafinha, Christensen, Kessié, they can see this is different. Barca's huge.
La cadena COPE. Te estás implicando muy activamente en los fichajes.
You're actively talking about the new signings. How do you convince the new signings that your project's better than others? He says, no, I don't compare projects. What I try and do is convince them that we're competitive, that we've got a very clear game style, they're going to enjoy it. Not just the club, but also the city, the team. Yes, I get involved because I'm like that. When I get involved in something, I give 100%. If not, I'd stay home. So I want them to come here. I want them to have a good time. I want to make them feel important. I try and explain them our idea, our gameplay. And at the end of the day, Barcelona helps the club. The enormity of this club it's a magnet for football players.
Hola, buenas tardes. Abraham Nudelsteger de Al Día, Dallas Morning News. Xavi sueña con ser el próximo Pep Guardiola del Barcelona.
Does Xavi dream about being the next Pep Guardiola for Barca? Do you feel the shadow of Pep Guardiola being the Barca coach? He says, no. What I dream about is that Barca wins. That's what happened to me as a player. I have the dream that Barca wins titles, not that I win. I've not got that big of an ego. I've got enough ego for 3 lives. What I did as a player was so great. This is Barca. As a coach right now, I've got a lot of responsibility, but I've not got any dreams of doing that. I don't want to outshine Pep nor Johan. They're not enemies. I'm an alumni of theirs. I learned so much from them, and I want to bring Barca to the top of the world. I want to bring I want to do my small part so that Barca wins titles again. I don't want to outshine anyone.
En la majoria de clubs, normalment qui porta
the majority
és el secretari tècnic,
of clubs,
per fitxar, no dic que
it's normally the technical secretary that contacts the players.
desitjable, tot i l'activació de les palanques, tenint en compte que tu has estat un referent al món del futbol.
Taking into account that you've been a reference in the world of football, is
per convèncer alguns jugadors o per
that's something when you get involved in these signings to bring in the players, does that help? He says, no, I wouldn't say so. This is the work that Mateo and Jordi are doing is extraordinary, whether I'm the coach or not. Mateo and Jordi are people who are spectacular doing what they do. The president as well, the confidence that he gives them to work. I've said it a lot, we're a family, we're all united, and we're working what we can for the club. Each person does what they can, and the fact that we are Barca, that helps the players. I explain to them the project, tell them that they'll come and enjoy it. We've got a project to start winning titles again, and that we're a group, we're a family. It's not this one does this one does the other, it's the group in total.
Diario Deportivo 10. 2 preguntas en una. ¿Te gusta esa tripleta en ataque, Rafinha,
He says, do you like this
Lewandowski? ¿Será la estelar?
trio, Rafinha,
Se habla de Messi.
Ansu and Lewandowski? And also, people are talking about Messi. Would you like to have him back in the club? He says, yeah, but Leo's got a contract, so it's impossible. It doesn't make any sense to talk about Messi. He's the best player in the world in history. And the president has said that he hopes that he ends his story with Barca again. We'll see that in the future. But now is not the moment to talk about Leo. It's a moment to talk about the players we've got. It's an exciting year. This is the 3 up front. Right now, I've not got a starting 11. We've got various changes We've got depth, all the players need to know that if I do make a change, it's not because one's doing better or the other. It's they need refreshing, they need resting. There's a risk of injury, there's a risk of suspension. You'll end up with one less. These are things that the coach has to manage, and the player needs to understand that there are 11 players and 2 changes. Like in previous years, there are 5 changes. And there's a lot of depth in order to be able to make changes. There's not a starting 11 and a backup 11. Everyone in Barça, if they train well and play well, will be important.
Que sé que heu de marxar ja cap a l'entrenament, Marró de Barça TV. Acaba de dir Lewandowski que sobretot no s'ha de mirar al futur.
Lewandowski shouldn't be looking at the past, we need to be looking at the future.
Començar des de la pretemporada. D'alguna manera et serveix tot el que va passar la temporada passada? És a dir,
is there something that is useful to you from everything that happened in last season?
Què és el que esperes respecte al que no vas aconseguir l'any passat?
Sí, home,
és
haver arribat l'any passat al novembre per tractar moltes coses, per fer un diagnòstic clar.
I came last November. I had to make some diagnostics, work so that they train better.
El mes de febrer, març el vam fer molt bo.
We had little periods, February and March, that were really, really good. Then we dropped our level a bit, but we need to be more consistent. If we can do what we did in February and March for a good part of the year, then we'll fight for titles. And that's the advantage of arriving in November.
Hello, Coach Marcin Cholewiński from Poland, Mecz-Ekipel. I would like to ask about Robert Lewandowski. When did you decide that you really want him in your team, and why?
Every day. So, if you have the opportunity to sign this kind of player, in my opinion, is a big star. Not only a big star, his humility, he's humble, he's professional. He's a top player in his position, so he's helping us a lot. His adaptation, his professionalism, everything is good. No, I think the team is growing a lot with signing Robert Lewandowski. So I'm really happy to have him in the team, in the squad.
Gracias, buenas tardes. Gracias, buenas tardes. El entreno empezará un poco antes de lo previsto. Los primeros 15 minutos serán abiertos a lo...
You can watch the first 15 minutes of the training match on Barça TV+.